In this next series of videos, we're going to utilize the Vlookup and HLOOKUP functions to pull data from one worksheet and utilize it and even populate other cells on another worksheet. Let me show you exactly what I've got planned here. I've created a couple of other tabs, and we'll get to what each one of those are useful for here in a little bit. But on the Invoice tab, this is a new one that I've made. I want to make a new, like an invoice worksheet, essentially, where I can type in stuff here and then, print something out. So I'm doing everything inside of Excel. Here's my problem, though. At this point, I've got to go in here and type in all this information. And I've got to go to the product ID. I've got to type in the product ID. Then I've got to go over here and I've got to type in the model number. And I got to type in the price. And then the quantity, and of course I can have Excel add everything up for me here and even add things up for me down here. And that's all well and good, definitely a time saver. But I've already got all of this information on my inventory tab. I've got the product number, the category, the brand, the model number, and the retail cost. Remember all the work we did to get that retail, that $9.99 stuff put on the end of that? I've already got all that put in there. Isn't there some way that I could maybe enter the product ID and have all of that stuff filled out for me automatically? Yes, there is. Excel to the rescue. The first way that we're going to conquer this is with the Vlookup command. Let me show you, again, like I usually do. I'm going to show you a simple usage of the Vlookup command so you can see how it works. We'll do everything on this one sheet, and then we'll bring that into our invoice tab. So I'm just going to type a number here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hit enter. We'll do 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit enter. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just doing, numbers that don't really matter. But then I'm going to put some values here. Ken, Lucy, Dana, Kayla. Okay, just got some names there. Now we'll head over here, and I'm going to create like a heading, value, and name. For my value, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, just so I've got something already there. And then where the name is at, we're going to utilize the Vlookup function. Here is what it does. We'll do =, Vlookup, opening parenthesis. First it says the lookup value. What are you looking for? And the reason that we're doing this is because showing you what Vlookup does is a lot easier than trying to explain what it does. But I will go ahead and explain a little bit. It's going to allow us to look up a value in this column and return the value that is corresponding to that in this column. It's pretty slick. So our lookup value is going to be G1, because that means we can go in here and we can type whatever value we want here, and it's going to look it up over there. Okay. Now, comma, table array. In other words, what do you want me to scan through? We want it to scan through these cells right here. Okay, so we've got those. And then column index. This is a very important aspect. This is the value, the column that the value is in that you want returned. Since I specified both of these columns here as my range, my table array, the second column is the one that I want the value from. A is the first column, B is the second column. So I'm going to put a 2 here. Then, comma, and I'm going to do false because I want an exact match and a closing parenthesis. Let's go ahead and hit enter. And here's what we get. We get Ken. So it looked up 1, 2, 3, 4 in this column, or in this range, I should say. And since Ken corresponded to the result, it returned the result for me. Watch what happens if I do 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, I get Dana. So what that gives me is the ability now to type in any value here and have it return the result of the corresponding value in this cell. Now I've done this on, within the same worksheet, and that can be convenient because you might have a worksheet, that's got like a bazillion rows or columns. And so it'll help you find stuff that you need real quick. But what's even nicer is we have the ability to reference other worksheets, right? So I can have it look up something on a different worksheet and return the result on the worksheet that I'm working on. And that's what we're going to do in the next video. We're going to go over here to our invoice, and we're going to utilize that same function and have it pull the product ID for us and populate the model and the price automatically.